Good day, class. We will now start working on your architectural and construction drawings with the use of your external references command or xref command in the attachment of your base plans. I will demonstrate you first how to work on your section with the use of external references. But before you start, make sure that you adjust the units of measurements into the same units used in the drawings that you will attach in your current file. So again, to adjust our units, we will use the units command. The shortcut for units is UN, or in phonetic alphabet, Uniform November. Let's type UN and press spacebar. This will make the drawing dialog box appear. Adjust the units according to the units used in the drawings that you will attach. And click OK to close the dialog box. So let's attach our base plan using the xref command. Let's type XR, or in phonetic alphabet, X-ray Romeo. Then press spacebar to make the external references palette appear on your working space. To attach the drawings that we will use, click on the attached drawing icon found on the upper left part of your palette. Clicking this will open your standard file location dialog box. Browse for the location of your base plan. So, once you found your plan, double-click the plan to open it. A new dialog box will appear. You have an option to specify the scale and insertion points of your drawing. Since there is no need to rescale the drawings, and will maintain the same measurements as the original file, we'll leave it as it is. When attaching base plans, make sure that the insertion points or the insertion point box is deselected and the points for the insertion are all set to 0. This will attach the drawings with the same position as the original file. Once everything is set, click OK. If the drawing is too large, you can simply use your zoom extent command. So let's type zoom or Z, or in phonetic alphabet Zulu, and press spacebar to execute the zoom command. And let's choose the extents sub option by typing E and pressing spacebar. We will now zoom into the whole extent of our drawing. We will now freeze the unnecessary layers within our attached external references using the freeze layers command. To execute this command, the shortcut key for freeze layers is LAYFRZ, or in phonetic alphabet, Lima Alpha Yankee, Foxtrot Romeo Zulu. This is the short word for layer freeze. So let's type again LAYFRZ and press spacebar to execute the command. We are now prompted to select the objects having the layers that we desire or we wish to turn off, such as the dimensions. Selecting one object having the dimensions layer will turn off other objects having the same layer. Another example, if I choose an object having a text layer, it will also turn off or freeze other objects having the same layer. So let's freeze any unnecessary elements and remaining are walls, ledges, and fixture. So these are the only elements that we need for now in working our section. After freezing layers, we will now create projection lines to start working on our section. These projection lines are created using the construction line command. The shortcut of the construction line is XL, or in phonetic alphabet, X-ray Lima. So let's type XL and press enter. We will now specify our construction lines. Upon execution of command of the XL, we have a choice if we prefer that our lines are all vertical or horizontal, or at a specific angle. Let's start first by creating vertical construction lines. Next is we'll specify our section plane by using the construction line and choosing horizontal. The shortcut for horizontal is H. So let's type H and press spacebar. So let's select this area, and we will disregard every element below the construction line. Make sure to change the layers of your construction line into depth points so that they will be hidden. Construction lines can be used with the offset command. So to offset your construction lines, simply use the offset command by typing O and pressing spacebar to execute the command. You can specify a certain distance for your offset, or you can simply type through to manually click on the position of your offset. We are now prompted to select the objects we want to offset. So let's select this line, and we are now prompted to specify the location of our lines. Once our construction line is set, we will now create projection lines for our floor finish level and our ceiling level. You may also include the thickness of your slab if you prefer, and the slabs of it at the top as well. You can also use the copy command for your construction lines. So let's assume that this is our floor finish level. We will offset this based on our desired ceiling height. If we wish that our ceiling height is for example, if our ceiling height is 2.5, we can type 2,500 millimeters. If you want to include your slab thickness, you can specify the thickness in your offset command. Also, take note that in the toilets, elevations tend to be lower than the floor finish level of your living area. Let's now proceed on creating our drawings. In order to avoid confusion, you can change the colors of your construction line into darker colors, such as the same color as your hatches or any darker colors. Since the purpose of your construction lines are just projections, there's no need to show them clearly. You can start working on your walls. And use your modifying and basic drawing tools in working on your section, such as line, copy, modify, and other modifying tools that you learned earlier in this course. This is our ceiling. When you are done in drafting your section, you can turn off temporarily your projection lines by using the lay off command or turn off layers command. The shortcut keys for turning off layers is LAYOFF or the phonetic alphabet Lima Alpha Yankee Oscar Foxtrot Foxtrot. So let's type lay off and press spacebar. The usage of this command is just the same as your lay freeze command. So this is now our section so far. You can apply your dimensions here, but first make sure to select your dimensions. If dimensions are not yet set, you can go to your existing file where you created any dimensions, select the dimensions, and copy it using your copy command or pressing Ctrl and C on your keyboard simultaneously. So let's go back to your current file and paste your dimension here using your paste clip command or by pressing Ctrl and V on your keyboard simultaneously. Pasting this object will also paste your dimension styles as well. You can set this as your current dimension styles after pasting, and you can now delete this. We'll apply our dimensions now. You can input dimensions using our dimension linear or linear dimension command or DLI. The proper way of doing your sections is to always include your dimensions. Then we can continue our dimensions using our continue dimensions command, which you've learned earlier. You can adjust the positions of your dimensions if you prefer to. We will now next apply layers. Every time you create a new drawing, never forget to apply or create new layers for your current drawings. So in your section, for example, you need a different layer for your text, a different layer for your wall, a different layer for your floor finish, a different layer for your fixture, and a different layer for your window. If you wish to turn back on your layers without opening your layers palette, you can use the lay on command or turn on layers command. The shortcut keys to turning on layers is lay on, or in phonetic alphabet, Lima Alpha Yankee Oscar November. So type lay on and press enter. Every layers that are turned off will now be turned on. You can also include your windows in your section, which is also very important in your presentation. You can now apply your layers. Make sure to assign colors for your layer, as this will affect your line weights assignment. In sections, projected elements tend to have a thinner line weight. So please take note of the use of thinner line weights on your projected elements. And the cut elements, where the cutting plane intersects an object, tend to have a thicker line. Once everything is set, you can now assign your layers. Once you assign one object with the current layer, you can use the match prop command or match properties command. The shortcut for match prop is MA, or in phonetic alphabet, Mike Alpha. So type MA and press spacebar to execute the command. We will now select an object that we want to copy its properties. And we will now select objects that we want to apply the same properties. So the objects that we selected onwards will be applied also with the wall layers. So apply the necessary layers to other drawing elements as well. If you want to include tags on your section, you can create tags using your attribute commands, such as, for example, your elevation tag. So elevation tab. And also, in presenting your section, don't forget your elevation or section grids. In layers, you can change the line type. If your desired line is not listed, you can click on Load and find your desired line type. For example, for your grid, we can use the center line type. Now click OK and select center, and again OK. So let's now have our section grid. And also, in presenting your section, don't forget to include your space labels. For the rest of the elements, you can include sections or your fixture in your sections. And that's how we work on our section with the use of our external reference base plan. Once you're done with your section drawing, you can lay this out on your paper using your viewports that you learned earlier in this course. So that's all for working on the sections with the use of external references.